Good evening, I'm Prasad Michael and you're watching Kini News, the show that brings you today's biggest stories. One thing that's worse than the coronavirus itself right now is a virus of a different kind. It's people who spread fake news. The IGP wants to have a word with you. Common signs of the coronavirus infection include fever, cough, shortness of breath and breathing difficulties. However, some uninfected people without formal medical training or experience appear to have developed symptoms of their own. The need to spread fake news. And judging by how much fake news is being spread, the viral mutation of facts could very well be more infectious than the coronavirus itself. And Inspector General of Police Abdul Hamid Bador has had enough.
Seperti yang saya katakan, stop. Jangan buat benda-benda yang menakutkan orang. Ramai sangat doktor pakar di kalangan masyarakat ni. Ya? Doktor pakar yang separuh masak, yang mengeluarkan dia punya pendapat-pendapat dia pick up daripada tempat lain yang tak tahu asal usul dia. Ya? Lepas tu disebarkan, lepas tu siap memberikan pandangan, nasihat kepada orang ramai, menakutkan orang.
Fake news about infections and deaths attributed to the virus has risen in the past few days, which could cause unnecessary panic and chaos. So far, police are planning to question at least 4 people for spreading such fake news.
Kita memang dengan MCMC, we are very closely working together. So, yang perlu ambil serius sekarang adalah mereka yang melakukan kesalahan ini. So, they must think seriously because we are going to knock at their doors. Yeah? So, saya bagi amaran bahawa pihak polis tidak akan terlepas pandang.
Spreading fake news is a crime and action can be taken under Section 505 of the Penal Code. Those found guilty can be jailed up to 2 years or fined or both. Global markets are starting to feel the pinch, especially now that the virus has claimed over 100 lives. Here's the current situation in China and beyond. The United States warned against travel to China on Monday, and Canada issued a narrow travel warning as the death toll from the spreading coronavirus passed 100, with tens of millions stranded during the biggest holiday of the year and global markets rattled. Global stocks fell, oil prices hit 3-month lows, and China's currency dipped to its weakest level in 2020 as investors fretted about the damage to the world's second biggest economy from travel bans and the Lunar New Year holiday, which China extended in a bid to keep people at home. The Health Commission of China's Hubei province said on Tuesday that 100 people had died from the virus as of January 27th. Other fatalities have been reported elsewhere in China, including the first in Beijing, bringing the death toll to 106 so far. Local reports put the total number of confirmed cases in China at over 4,000. Some experts suspect a much higher number. On Monday, US President Donald Trump offered China whatever help it needed, while the State Department said Americans should reconsider visiting all of China due to the virus. Canada, which has 2 confirmed cases of the virus and is investigating 19 more potential cases, warned its citizens to avoid travel to China's Hubei province at the heart of the outbreak. Like the rest of the world, Malaysia's own economy could take a hit if the coronavirus situation does not improve. Azmin Ali shared the ministry's concerns with reporters this morning. Economic Affairs Minister Azmin Ali said today that Malaysia's economy will not be immune to the effects of a prolonged virus outbreak. However, the severity of the situation is not yet known.
Sekiranya perkara ini berterusan seperti juga dengan wabak-wabak yang lain sebelum ini, pastinya ia ada memberi kesan kepada ekonomi negara. Namun saya tidak mahu membuat sebarang spekulasi kerana perkara ini satu perkara yang serius yang perlu dipantau oleh agensi dan kementerian yang berkenaan.
Meanwhile, Azmin added that there was no need to halt trade with China, particularly on import and export from Wuhan, although he was quick to add it was not a sign that the government is taking the situation lightly.
Ini kita tumpu pergerakan pelancong daripada 2 daerah yang berkenaan. Dan kalau ada kesan pun saya ingat pada ketika ini kita harus juga melihat pergerakan dagangan bahan makanan.
Yesterday, Malaysia moved to restrict the entry of Chinese nationals from Wuhan City and Hubei province. So far, Asian and European shares tumble, with Japan's Nikkei average sliding 2%, its biggest one-day fall in 5 months. If you're worried about being infected by the coronavirus, don't be, because you're more likely to die in a road accident. Strange how no one is talking about that, so let's talk about it now. 138 people have been killed in Malaysia just in the first 9 days of Op Selamat 16. Not from the coronavirus, but from road accidents. Since the road safety operation was started on January 18th, over 14,000 accidents were recorded nationwide. Over 25% of those accidents took place in Selangor. In that short period, over 230,000 summonses were issued for 6 major traffic violations. Can you guess what they are? Using mobile phones while driving, beating traffic lights, driving over the speed limit, misusing emergency lanes, cutting queues, and overtaking on double lines. Of those killed, over 68% were motorcyclists and pillion riders. A legend gone too soon. Fans of NBA star Kobe Bryant are still struggling to digest the shocking news as investigators recovered 3 bodies from the crash site.
We were a big fan of Kobe.
Like he's basically bigger than basketball. Like he just meant like excellence, like the best you could be as a man. Like.
The pilot of Kobe Bryant's ill-fated helicopter was flying too low to be monitored in fog. Air traffic controller recording showed on Monday. As coroner's investigators said, they had recovered 3 bodies from the crash site and were searching for more remains on Monday. The Sikorsky S-76 chopper slammed into a steep hillside on Sunday outside Calabasas, California, about 65 kilometers northwest of downtown Los Angeles, killing all 9 people on board, igniting a brush fire and spreading debris over hundreds of feet of grassy terrain. The National Transportation Board is calling for the public to give any photographs or video that might have been taken of the weather in the area of the helicopter wreck, which it said left a devastating accident scene. The NTSB offered no update on the search of victims but said investigators were expected to be on site for as many as 5 days. The dense fog and its role in the crash came under scrutiny on Monday as fans, friends and relatives of the retired NBA great confronted the reality that the charismatic 41-year-old and his 13-year-old daughter Gianna were among those on board who died. Bryant, who won 5 NBA championships in his 20 years with the Los Angeles Lakers, was known since his playing days to travel frequently by helicopter to avoid Los Angeles area's glacial traffic. Firefighter Mohammed Adib's father filed an ex parte application last year to initiate committal proceedings against Tommy Thomas over an affidavit which indicated that Adib did not die from injuries sustained from an alleged assault. Thomas had filed an affidavit on April 3rd while the inquest into the death of Adib was still underway. This caused a controversy and more. Attorney General Tommy Thomas will be allowed to continue with his appeal to set aside permission granted for a coroner's court to proceed with a contempt proceeding against him. The High Court inshallah made the ruling today after finding that there was merit in Tommy's appeal. Justice Miur Hashimi said among matters considered was that it found the coroner had failed to take into consideration all material facts related to the purported act of contempt by Thomas. Thomas had appealed to set aside the permission granted last year in an application filed by Muhammad Qasim Abdul Hamid, father of the late firefighter Muhammad Adib Muhammad Qasim. He said the respondent was found to have selectively disclosed only facts which supported his contempt application against Thomas. Further, the judge said the respondent had also failed to draw the coroner's attention to the entirety of Thomas' media statement dated May 28th last year. Instead, Justice Muir said the coroner only took into consideration several paragraphs from the media statement, particularly on the role of lawyer Shazlin Mansour, who appeared for the Housing Local Government Ministry, the Fire and Rescue Department and the late Adib's family. Muhammad Qasim's lawyer Anif Khatri Abdullah said an appeal would be filed against today's decision. Coming up next, should certain tourist spots be closed to visitors to curb the spread of the coronavirus? It may be the season of the coronavirus, but it's still the start of the year of the rat. All that and more after this. With the new virus outbreak, should tourists be barred from visiting certain places in the country? Our tourism minister thinks not. To combat the possible spread of the coronavirus from tourists, the management of Putrajaya's Putra Mosque has restricted the entry of non-Muslim visitors. Beginning Sunday, the mosque management informed that it will deny entry to non-Muslim visitors. However, Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister Muhammadin Katapi has called the move, quote, not good and absolutely wrong. The minister said a formal written request will be submitted to the management of tourist sites that have imposed such restrictions to urge the restrictions to be lifted. He added that tourists already in the country are healthy tourists. Meanwhile, Mohammadan said the temporary ban on new tourists from Hubei province will not affect the ministry's goal for the country to earn 100 billion ringgit in tourism income this year. He said this is because there are many other tourists from other parts of the world visiting the country. While the coronavirus outbreak may have dampened celebrations, it's not all gloomy. Performances including lion dance, molten iron fireworks and twilight parades were held in many cities across China to celebrate the Chinese New Year.
Folk artists performed a spectacular dragon dance in the midst of sparkling molten iron fireworks in the Tongliang district southwest of China's Chongqing municipality recently. Listed as a national intangible cultural heritage item, the molten iron splashing performance features one blacksmith throwing a ladle of molten iron up into the sky and another blacksmith beating the molten iron with a wooden club. People also took to the streets to watch colorful floats and festive lanterns which lit up the sky in front of the ancient Prime Minister's mansion in North China's Shanxi province. At Qingtongxia City in northwest China's Ningxiahui Autonomous Region, 10 teams of Shenhuo performance, including 1,200 people, will take part in the Spring Festival celebrations.
And here are the top stories from today. And that is all from us today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Prasad Michael. Thanks for watching. Good night.